Rainy Christmas Eve in Pasadena. A storm in Northern California is sliding down here. We could even get some snow for Christmas. Here's our Mount Wilson Skycam live. It's wet there too, and you can see raindrops all over the lens. Heavy snow is falling in Lake Tahoe and in Kingvale, California. That's making for a tough drive. Tahoe could get up to 18 inches of fresh powder. And look at this, rain in the Bay Area combined with king tides caused street flooding in Mill Valley near Sausalito. CBS 2 meteorologist Evelyn Taft is tracking the weather for us tonight. Ev?
Yes, I am, and I am taking off my Christmas sweatshirt and I'm getting right into position to talk about the rain that is already here in Southern California. You saw quite a bit of it over Northern California, over the Tahoe area, over the Sierra, and we're starting to see a little bit of it show up here at home. We're also looking at thunderstorms to our east, and as we get a look at the rest of our forecast right here, you will see rain starting to inch a little closer over Santa Barbara County. We're seeing a few drops. We're seeing a few drops over the Tehachapis right there, and as we get a closer look at satellite radar, you will see mostly dry conditions at the moment, but not for long. We could see more rain move in overnight. We're looking at snow in the mountains. In fact, we've got winter weather advisories. We've got high surf advisories, and we have wind advisories. The wind already starting to pick up along the coast in Ventura County. We'll show you that in just a minute. We'll also take you through your futurecast and show you exactly when and where we are expecting that rain. But for now, Sharon, send it back to you.
All right, Ev, thanks. Oscar winner Kevin Spacey is now facing a felony sex assault charge. He's accused of groping a teenage boy in a Massachusetts bar. Prosecutors made the announcement about the same time Spacey posted a bizarre video online. CBS 2's Tom Waite is live in the newsroom with more details. Tom?
Hi there, Sharon. Yeah, the video is titled "Let Me Be Frank," most likely a reference to the character Spacey played on House of Cards before he was released from the show. The video was Spacey's first Twitter post in more than a year since another man accused him of sexual misconduct.
You wouldn't believe the worst without evidence, would you? You wouldn't rush to judgments without facts, would you?
Kevin Spacey in a bizarre video rant in character from his former role on House of Cards. Spacey posted the video just hours after prosecutors in Massachusetts announced he's being charged with indecent assault and battery in connection with accusations he sexually assaulted a teenager.
Because I can promise you this. If I didn't pay the price for the things we both know I did do, I'm certainly not going to pay the price for the things I didn't do.
Prosecutors say the incident happened in a Nantucket, Massachusetts bar in July of 2016. Former Boston TV news anchor Heather Unruh said in a news conference earlier this year that the man Spacey assaulted was her then 18-year-old son.
Kevin Spacey bought him drink after drink after drink. And when my son was drunk, Spacey made his move. Spacey stuck his hand inside my son's pants and grabbed his genitals.
These accusations come in the wake of claims last summer by actor Anthony Rapp, who was the first to come forward. Rapp says that when Spacey was 26, Spacey assaulted him when he was just 14. Spacey earlier said on Twitter he did not remember the incident but apologized to Rapp. Spacey was released from House of Cards because of the multiple sexual assault allegations. Los Angeles County prosecutors are reviewing a case.
Well, of course, they're going to say I'm being disrespectful, not playing by the rules, like I ever played by anyone's rules before.
Spacey's representatives did not respond to CBS's request for comment today. The LA County District Attorney spokesperson confirmed that a first case from 1992 was dropped because of the statute of limitations, but it's a second case that is currently under review. I'm Tom Waite, live in the newsroom. Sharon, back to you.
All right, Tom, thank you. A convicted killer might be set free in a Southland murder case that dates back more than 30 years. Governor Jerry Brown has ordered new DNA testing for death row inmate Kevin Cooper, and the move is getting rave reviews from a reality TV superstar. CBS 2 political reporter Dave Bryan has the details and the reaction tonight. Dave?
And Sharon, this case could have really life or death implications, literally. Kevin Cooper has been in prison more than 30 years, charged with 4 grisly family murders. But now Governor Brown is ordering that DNA testing on a T-shirt that may have been worn by the killer and 3 other items in a case we reported on in May. 2 weeks before leaving office, Governor Jerry Brown tonight has issued an executive order directing DNA testing be carried out in one of the most shocking and brutal murder cases in Southern California history. The victims of the brutal, bloody 1983 murders were Doug and Peggy Ryan, their 10-year-old daughter, and her 11-year-old friend. The blood-stained walls of their home in the Chino Hills section of San Bernardino County, a shocking remnant of the violent attack. They were killed with a hatchet and at least 2 other weapons. They had more than 150 wounds on their bodies. Only one man, Kevin Cooper, was arrested. He was a convicted burglar who escaped from a minimum security prison and was using the house next door as a hiding place. And he has been in prison now for more than 30 years.
This case is absolutely at the top of the list in terms of the most corrupt, botched, wrongfully handled cases that I've ever seen.
Former FBI Special Agent in Charge Thomas R. Parker spent 30 years with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and Parker is not alone. Here's what Judge William Fletcher from the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals said about the Cooper conviction.
He is on death row because the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department framed him.
In May, we did a full report on the controversial case and asked if the governor was going to order additional DNA testing. Now, 7 months later, the answer is yes.
It is a wonderful Christmas present for Kevin Cooper and for all of us who have been working so hard to exonerate him.
Reality TV star Kim Kardashian, a supporter of Cooper who called for more DNA testing, tweeted, "Just saw the press release from Governor Brown regarding Kevin Cooper. Such amazing news." Now, Cooper has other well-known supporters as well, including California Senator Kamala Harris, State Treasurer John Chung, and New York Times columnist Nicholas Kristof, all of whom believe the new DNA testing is the right way to go. Sharon, back to you.
Nope, no Santa rally on Wall Street this year. U.S. stocks plunged again today. The Dow dropped more than 653 points. The Nasdaq and S&P 500 lost as well. Experts are saying the market is jittery over interest rate hikes, the government shutdown, and the trade war with China. Tonight, Japan's main index followed our decline and plunged 5%. Well, just in time for Christmas, neighbors swamped by a water main break last week are getting a gift courtesy of the LA DWP. CBS 2's Hermela Arugawi is live in that South LA neighborhood to show us what's happening there. Hermela?
Good evening. Well, as of last night, residents no longer had to come to these blue containers around their neighborhood to get their water, but they did still have to boil it. Well, tonight, LADWP has lifted that boil advisory. That means people can use their running water as they please going into Christmas morning.
It's an inconvenience since Friday. I had to go down the street where moms live at to go take showers.
It's Christmas Eve, and Herman Flores, like the rest of his neighbors on 55th Street, has to boil his running water before he uses it for anything, including washing dishes or rinsing off produce. His family has been using bottled water when they brush their teeth.
Kinda hard because every time I brush my teeth, the toothbrush is hard.
Neighbors with big families say it's made the holidays more challenging.
It's been hell. It seemed like we was living back in the days.
A water main break Friday morning flooded the streets, causing vehicles to float and opening a massive sinkhole. Dozens of residents were displaced and had to be put up in hotels. Water service was restored by late Sunday, but with a boil notice.
And we still have to boil water because they got to let us know when it's safe for us to drink and cook with.
Make you appreciate life a whole different way, because there's a lot of people that don't have water, that can't do the things that we do.
Residents say they're still cleaning up the mess left behind by the water main break, but they say overall life is getting back to normal. Reporting live in South LA, Hermela Arugawi, CBS 2 News.
All right, Hermela, thank you. A local church rises from the ashes this Christmas Eve.
A historic church in Riverside goes up in flames just before the holidays, the effort to keep Christmas Eve services going.
I'm Greg Mills in Burbank with some late night shoppers looking for some last minute gifts. That's coming up.
And we're in the Christmas spirit here in Southern California. Rain is on the way. That's your forecast, reindeer. In fact, we're already seeing a few drops across Southern California. I'll have that full forecast ahead.
Plus, the LAPD and NYPD joined the debate over the movie Die Hard. Is it a Christmas movie or not? And NORAD is tracking Santa tonight. He and his reindeer are heading towards Salt Lake City, Utah, making good time, too.